Hello everybody and welcome back to the next video. This time we're gonna talk about my personal top 10 favorite heroes on support. The first one is Spirit Breaker. The reason why I'm putting Spirit Breaker actually on the last one is because I do not really like this hero that much to play him. Like, he can be fun, sure, but the reason why I'm putting him into this list is because he got insane buffs in the last patch, 7.33c, and he's actually just very strong overall as a core and as a support. So you should definitely try this hero. All his spells kind of got buffed. Overall, this hero is in a very good position. He's also getting played in competitive quite a lot, and you can like win a lot of public games right now with this hero if you just spam him like an idiot. And you will see you're gonna have a success with this hero. Maybe not from the start, but when you understand the hero better, you know how to use your spells, then you're gonna start feeling like, okay, this hero is actually really strong. His peaks are usually on the early game and later on in the game. Like 10 to like 15 or 20 minutes, this hero is like kind of weird, because like you want at least like 1 or 2 items on this hero to like be stronger than any other hero in this game on position 4. So yeah, definitely try this hero out. He is very strong. The next one is MIRANA. Like, I've played a lot of MIRANA and I have a lot of success with this hero, but I feel like in this patch MIRANA doesn't really fit right now. I'm not quite sure why, even though she got buffed on almost every single patch. I just feel like the meta has changed a little bit, plus the change to our universal hero kind of fucked up this hero a little bit as well. Because you are not that strong anymore in the lane, like your damage got nerfed quite heavily. But like overall, this hero still has a good place in the meta. I just don't think he's like one of my top 5 or 4 favorite heroes right now. That's why I put him so low on the list, but MIRANA is still good. All her spells are very great. The ulti is just insanely good in pubs. You can outplay anyone in the map. You can outplay the entire enemy team. If they're not buying any sentries or dust, or if they forget it, you're gonna just own your enemies by that. And you're gonna get a lot of advantages in pubs. So definitely abuse this hero. He's very good. Alright, the next one is CLOCKWERK. I know in the last like top 5 of my personal favorite heroes I was putting CLOCKWERK pretty high, but I'm not sure what happened. Maybe it's because he's a universal hero, or I don't know, but this hero is getting buffed on every single patch, but for some reason he doesn't feel that great. Like, he's okay, but he's like not one of my favorites right now, because in public games I feel like roaming around is so much better than before. And I feel like CLOCKWERK is like not the best roamer. Like on the first like 10 minutes of the game, before you have your ulti of course, you don't really have an easy way to get on top of people. If you hook, you are great. But before that, I feel like you're struggling a lot. But even though you are struggling in the early game, this hero is actually really strong still. All his spells got buffed. He's a very good team fighter later on in the game. He can buy the auras for your offlaner, so your offlaner doesn't need to buy them. You can go for Crimson Guard, you can go for Pipe, you can go for Force Stuff, you can go for Avis, you can go for anything actually on this hero, and it feels good. So this hero is like still okay. He's not like in my top 5, but I still think he's a good hero for public games, and you can win a lot of games with it if you spam this hero and if you get a good feeling about this hero and if you enjoy it, of course. The next one is Io. In my opinion, Io is like one of the strongest heroes in Dota right now, in competitive and in pubs. But the problem for me personally in pubs is you want a good team to play around. And in my opinion, Io is a very weird hero if you have weird teammates. Like if your teammates don't know how to play with Io, you already know it's going to be a tough game. And most of the times in pubs, it is that. Like, people don't know how to play with Io, they don't want to play with Io, or they don't know what to do. But like, that's why I don't think this hero for public games is like in my top 5, because this hero is strong, like maybe one of the strongest actually. But for pubs, he's kinda meh, because people just don't know how to play around it. You need to do a lot of calls, you need to micromanage your team a little bit, and this is like sometimes very hard, especially in public games, in low MMR points, even in high MMR points. People don't know how to play with this hero, or they don't want to play with this hero because this hero is very unique. But overall, I would say this hero is like insanely strong still. If you are actually an IO chat or something, keep playing him. If you get good enough on this hero, you will grind a lot of MMR in the public games, even though I don't think personally this hero is that good in pubs. But if you make it work, go for it. I respect it. The next one is my boy Earth Spirit. Earth Spirit overall is actually not that bad, but in my opinion Earth Spirit is a better call than support right now. Like, I get the point, like he's very mobile, he can like jump around with his role, gank a lot of people, but I just think the buffs he got recently are just better for core. Like, your laning is stronger, you're farming way more with your Q, You can actually buy Pipe and Crimson and you are insanely tanky and most likely unkillable. So I definitely think this hero has a place on the position 4 role, but my favorite is actually as a core, as a offlaner or as a mid laner. You can actually snowball with this hero quite a lot as well. The only problem you have most of the times if you play it as a core or even as a support, your laning is just not the best. Like most of it, like all the patches before, Earth Spirit, his lane is just not good. You need to find a way to make it work, like pulling waves, outplaying your enemies or whatever, but you need to like understand that you are not the chat of the lane. It is probably the enemy, so you need to respect it, you need to find a way around it, and you need to understand how to outplay your enemies. So definitely keep that in mind. But overall, I still think this hero is good, even though his laning is very bad. You can actually carry games from minute 10 to like 25. So yeah, keep that in mind, and on to the next one. Alright, let's go. The top 5, guys. My top 5 heroes. The number 5 is actually EARTHSHAKER. Before the patch, this boy actually was pretty shit, but he got so many buffs in the last patch that I think this hero is like insanely good on any position right now. Like you can play in middle, you can play in +4, you can play in +5, you can play in on any role. Like it doesn't really matter. Like this hero just got very buffed and his spells actually feel very good now again. And yeah, it's getting close, of course, so Valve needs to buff him because they want to see Shaker on the big stage. So yeah, definitely abuse this hero. Like his potential of teamfight with Blink especially is insane. His farming potential is like not the greatest, but it is okay. It's like way better than other heroes have. You have your fissure to farm, you can actually max your fissure, you can like walk around, gank people, you can max your W, you can actually hit people with it if you play core, you can max your passive and you can focus on farming. You have like so many ways of playing this hero, but on position 4 I would recommend you like maxing your Q, just run around the map, gank people, fuck them up. At some point you're gonna get your blink, one big echo, game is over, GG, and go next. My number 4 on this list is SKYWRATH Mage. SKYWRATH Mage overall, great laner, very strong spells on any stage of the game. The only problem with this hero that I can think of is if you don't own your lane or the early game, you're gonna have a big problem. Like whenever the enemy is like snowballing, I think this hero is complete garbage. Like you need to at least have a decent lane plus a decent game, and you need to like fuck up your enemies a little bit, otherwise you're gonna fall off very quick. If the enemy is getting like a 4-staff on minute 15 or Glimmer Cape or whatever, your game is basically over. Like you need to punish people with this hero. If you are not really aggressive with this hero, you're gonna have a big problem and you're gonna like fall off very quickly, way more than other position 4 heroes. So definitely keep that in mind. If you wanna be a good Sky, you need to own your lanes and you need to own the like first 10 minutes. If you don't own, there's a very high chance you're gonna lose the game or you're gonna fall off completely and you feel completely useless. But the hero is very strong if you win your lane and if you own the early game. So this hero can be very snowbally. Definitely keep that in mind and abuse it. I did it as well. My man Techies, let's go. I think this hero is insanely strong on the lane. All your spells are actually great. Like you can max all of them, you can use all of them to farm. Your laning is like a fucking giga chat. You're just sitting there, you are basically a tower, you hit people, and people cannot trade against you because of your spells, plus your right click damage, your armor, your movement speed, your attack range, everything. This hero is basically like the new Rubick, kind of. I still think though Rubick is like a stronger laner than him, but overall Techies is a great hero. Even in competitive, a lot of teams are picking it, they're prioritizing it, because they understand this hero is very strong and abusable in the lane and in any stage of the game. Like the Aghanims is a very strong later on if you get it. Your Suicide can be easily like for ganks, for teamfight potentials, so whatever. Your ulti can be very nice for mentors and overall like placing them around Rush so enemies cannot fight there at all. You can place them on the portals, you can place them on the lotuses, you can place them anywhere and you just fuck up your enemies. So definitely abuse this hero. Like he's in my top 3 list, so I'm winning a lot with this hero right now and I'm enjoying it. So I hope you're gonna do the same. My number 2 is Monkey King. A lot of people that watch my streams on YouTube or Twitch actually saw me playing this hero quite a lot, and I think this hero is like one of the best position for us because you have everything. You have teamfight, a solid lane, you have insane armor, you have good right click damage, you have good movement speed, you have mobility with your W, you have a stun, you can actually outrate your enemies with your passive on the lane, you have a decent stat gain, and you can easily scale into late game as a core. Like that's basically all you want as a position 4. You want a good lane, you want the ability to roam around, you want to stun, you want to slow, you want to teamfight with your ulti, you want to scale into late game at any point of the game, it doesn't really matter with this hero, and you just want to have fun. And I think Makikin is the perfect hero for that. You can even dodge a lot of spells with your mischief, you can like outplay your enemies. There's a lot of potential with this hero. So I recommend you to definitely abuse this hero. He's very good and I hacking love him. Try him for 20 games in a row and you will see this hero is very cool and nice to play. Alright, the last but not least, my boy Rubick. Rubick is a Chad on the lane. Everybody knows that. Whoever played against a Rubick in a 1v1 knows that you cannot outrate him, basically. This hero has everything he wants. He has decent movement speed, he has good armor, he has insane right click damage, he has a good range, he has a good stat gain, he has perfect spells to play around. You're basically any hero you want to be at level 6, so this hero, in my opinion, is definitely one of my favorites. You can do anything on the map, you can roam around, you can stay in the lane, you can do whatever you want. And people cannot like really punish you if you play correct. I have like almost 1.5 or 2k games on this hero and I just love it. Like you can do whatever you want, you are so versatile. Because you have the ability to be any hero in the game, and this is like the best thing on this hero. So definitely abuse it. He is my favorite, but he's also very contested. So don't expect like if you want to spam Rubick, you're gonna get him every game. I will get him maybe every 5th or 6th game. That's it, because he's either banned or he's picked by the enemy. So definitely keep that in mind. And I really hope I could help some people out there with some ideas of heroes. As I said before, all of that is like personal preference. Besides Spirit Breaker, I play all of these heroes quite a lot and I love all of them, like literally all of them. Like I could put any heroes of them on the first place, but I decided to do like this order because like right now I'm playing these kind of heroes quite a lot and the other 5 heroes not that much, because I don't think they're like fitting my style right now. They're fitting the meta of the game right now. So yeah, I really appreciate all the support, boys, and good luck in your pubs with my favorite heroes. Bye bye.